guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and thanks for joining me for today's video. Really appreciate that. And guys, today we have an information-packed jerkbait video. I'm going to lay out every Megabass jerkbait that I use right now, which is a bunch of them. And I'm going to give you guys sort of a detailed tutorial on each particular model, each lip design, every different one. See, I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, I got 10 different jerkbaits, 10 different models of Megabass jerkbaits that I use here. And each one of them has a specific situation that they really produce good on. So I'm going to go through each one of them in detail, give you guys some tips and advice on how to use them and how to catch fish on them. Definitely think it's going to add up to a lot of fish for you guys over the next 2 to 3 months of the winter and pre-spawn periods coming up here. I'm also got a couple quick things, guys, before we get started. Just a quick reminder that we do have my Fish the Moment lake map breakdowns up on the fishthemoment.com website now for the winter months. Great resources, guys, to learn more about your favorite lake, especially get you some good places to go this winter. I'll have my lake map breakdown link in the description of the video. And also, guys, real quick, Silverbat has extended their Black Friday sale on my glasses. Right now, you can get my RB2s and RB3s at 50% off. And any purchase you make over $70, guys, you get a free hard case from Silverbat. Also, use my promo code RandyB, capital R, capital B, for free shipping and handling. But 50% off on the glasses right now, man. And you guys will really like to get a pair of them. Optical clarity on these things are second to none. Okay, guys, a lot of you guys may have seen this. You know, I've been with Megabass since 1992. And back in the late 90s, I helped design the Megabass Vision 110 for Megabass. You know, I've been fishing jerkbaits here in the Ozarks my whole life, and Megabass wanted to get a jerkbait, so we worked together. And as a result, we came up with a Vision 110 in the late 90s, which has been the flagship and the standard bearer for all jerkbait fishing since then. But even though the Vision 110 gets a lot of notoriety, Megabass has a bunch of other good jerkbait models that catch a ton of fish. In fact, several of them, I have caught more bass on some of these other models than I have the 110 actually. So I'm just going to go through each one of them, and I'm going to explain to you guys how I fish them. Now they do have a few more. They got some different lip designs, and they got some, you know, maybe some more off the wall type stuff, but these are the main ones I use, the 10 ones that I use throughout the course of the year. Okay, guys, first one we'll go through here in no particular order. This is the Megabass Canada. This is the biggest jerkbait that Megabass makes. It's a 7-inch model, very aggressive, very large bait, designed for when the bass are feeding on larger threadfin and gizzard shad. The time for the Canada, for me, there's 2 windows. I like the Canada in the sort of in the early post-spawn, like right after the fish come off the beds, like in May. I catch a ton of fish on this thing in May. Sometimes I'll catch them in the pre-spawn, like when the water temperature's in the upper 50s, but that May period's a really good time. And the other period is in the fall time of the year when the water temperature's in the 60s and 70s. I catch a lot of fish on this thing like in November and December. And my favorite way to fish a Canada, guys, is paralleling steep rocky banks with it. Bluff banks, steep rocky banks, riprap banks. Really good bait for some good quality fish. And it'll surprise you because I've caught a ton of 1.5 pound fish on this bait, even though it's the biggest bait that they make. And this is the only Megabass jerkbait I fish with a bait cast rod. All the other jerkbaits I fish with a spinning tackle, but this one, since it's so big, I do use a bait caster on that. Okay, the next one's a little bit smaller version. This is the Megabass Ito Shiner. Now, this is an aggressive jerkbait. The Ito Shiner has a really crazy darting action to it. If you fish it on 8 to 10 pound test line, it's gonna run down there 7 or 8 feet. The Ito Shiner is a really good bait during the pre-spawn time of the year. This is the bait that I use a lot when the water temperature is in the 50s, like in March, early April. It's also a really good bait to fish over any type of submergent vegetation. So if you got like hydrilla milfoil or something like that, really good bait for that. And especially, there's something about the Ito Shiner that's really good in Florida. If you guys fish Okeechobee or the Harris chain or the Kissimmee chain, the Ito Shiner is a really good bait down in Florida there too. Okay, the next one is the Megabass. This is the 110+2 model. Now, this is the deep diver here, guys. This thing will get down, you put this thing on 6 to 8 pound test line and make a long cast with it, it'll get down close to 15 feet. Super deep diving jerkbait. That's what I use it for. I use the 110+2 when those fish are really, really deep. So if I'm fishing a very clear water situation, particularly in the cold weather months, where I think those fish are going to be down, you know, in 20 or 30 foot of water. This bait right here, it'll bring a bass out of 30 foot of water. If you throw this thing like on a main lake point in 30 foot of water and the water's clear, this thing's gonna get down 12 to 15 feet and it'll pull fish off the bottom in 30 foot of water. So this 110+2 is a really good bait for you know, fishing when you're really wanting to maximize the depth of your jerkbait. Now, along with that there too, you do have the Megabass 110+1. Here's the lip difference on it here. You know, the 110+1 has got a significantly smaller lip on it than the 110+2, but it still has a bigger lip on it than the traditional 110. Here's the traditional 110, here's the 110+1. The 110+1 is a very popular bait because this thing will allow people to use a little bit heavier line and get the jerkbait down, you know, just a little bit deeper, like in that 7 to 9 foot zone with 10 or 12 pound test line. And I find that most people that fish a jerkbait, they prefer the Megabass 110+1. The reason I don't use it as much is because I do use a spinning rod, so I can get my baits deeper than most people can with a bait caster. But if you like to fish your jerkbaits on, you know, 10 to 12 pound line with a bait caster, and you still want to get that zone of 8 to 10 foot, 110+1 is the one that you want to use with that. Now, another difference with the 110+1 and the 110+2, since these are deeper lips, these baits will tend to dig down more when you jerk them. It's like the 110+1 is more of a horizontal motion, but the deeper lip versions they're going to always want to be pushing down like that. So that's sort of the difference in the action with that as far as how they look in the water. And then you have the popular, the Megabass Vision 110 right here. This one right here, this is the 110, and this is the 110 silent model. I use both of these. The difference is the 110, along with the other jerkbaits, they have this internal balancing system that has a tungsten ball bearing that goes back and forth based upon if you're casting it or working it. And when you cast it, that tungsten ball bearing goes to the back of the bait and gives you a lot more of a streamlined cast with it. And then you have a little bit of noise chamber in it. You know, it's just the action that's created by that is second to none. The Vision 110 is a staple jerkbait for most people across the country. Works in any condition, 12 months out of the year, you know, any lake across the country. It's arguably the best jerkbait that's ever been designed. And the 110 silent model, which is the exact same diameter of this, exact same profile, it has a fixed balancer system in it, so it doesn't make any rattles with it. Now, I actually prefer the 110 silent model over the 110+1, over the regular 110. I think that so many people fish the 110 that a lot of times, if the bass aren't really aggressive, they won't bite it as good. So if you fish a place that has tough fishing, bright bluebird skies, really clear water, the 110 silent model is probably the one you want. And also, guys, I'll put my Megabass Jerkbait link in my Tackle Warehouse description in this video. If you guys would like to order any of these baits I talked about, you can get them through my link there. If you order them through the link, it's a good way to support the channel. The channel gets a small percentage of the commission on anything that you buy, so that's a good way to support intuitive angling by using that link there. Okay, now we'll get into a little bit smaller ones. These are my bread and butter. The ones that I'm getting ready to talk about here are the ones that I primarily use. This is one of my all-time favorites, is the Megabass X80. I've probably caught more bass on the X80 than I have any Megabass jerkbait, even the 110. It's a smaller jerkbait. It's a little over 3 inches long, yet it's got a beefy profile on it. It's got high sides on it, you know, thick back. It'll run about 8 to 9 foot deep on 6 to 8 pound test line. The biggest bass I ever caught on a jerkbait at Table Rock Lake, which was 9 pounds 4 ounces, came on this exact bait right here, the X80. I have caught a ton of them. The biggest 5 fish limit of spotted bass I ever caught in my life down at Lake Lanier, Georgia, came on the X80. Highly suggest you guys get one of these. This is a deadly, deadly bait anytime that water temperature is in the 40s or 50s. Okay, the next one sort of along that same line of a finesse jerkbait is the Megabass 110+1 Junior. Now, they do make a 110 Junior with a smaller lip on it for shallow water, but this is a very popular model right here, guys. The 110+1 Junior is a favorite of a ton of different guys out there. I've got buddies that fish up at Lake of the Ozarks and live up there. This is the only thing they use at Lake of the Ozarks. It's a smaller profile, so it's better in tough fishing conditions. you know, clear water, bright bluebird days, when those fish get conditioned to the 110, this 110 plus 1 junior, a little bit smaller. Here's the difference between the 110 plus 1 right here, and here's the 110 plus 1 junior. You can see the difference in the size there. But this is a credible bass catcher. You know, it catches finicky fish, it catches numbers and size. Definitely one you want to have in your tackle box. Okay, and then the last two guys are ones you hear me talking about a lot for wintertime fishing. It's my favorite #1 wintertime fishing bait, and that's the Nanahan. This is the Nanahan plus 2, the X Nanahan plus 2, the X Nanahan plus 1. You can see the lip variations there on it. I probably use the X Nanahan plus 2 more than anything else because with the small, you know, profile of the bait, it gets down, you know, probably 10 foot or so, which is the key depth for me fishing in the wintertime. But I do use both of them. But these right here, guys, this is the #1 wintertime jerkbait you can fish. If you're fishing in cold water with that water temperatures in the 40s or around 50 degrees and you have clear water situation, there's not another jerkbait that will compete with this. You'll get, if you would go fishing with me at Table Rock Lake in January and you try any jerkbait you want to, I don't care what brand it is, any jerkbait, any Megabass jerkbait, any whatever jerkbait, any brand, you will get your butt waxed if you're not fishing this at Table Rock or any clear water lake in the wintertime. Bass love this thing. It's freaking deadly. So anyway, guys, that's my 10 Megabass jerkbaits. These are the ones that I use 99% of the time. I've been using them forever. I've got thousands and thousands of hours fishing them. I don't want to make this sound like a commercial, but there's not anything better, guys. If you're not using Megabass jerkbaits, you're basically just, you're cheating yourself out of fish. You're not catching the fish that you would if you would use a Megabass jerkbait. The components and the quality are second to none on this. The quality of the components that are used, everything from the split rings to the hooks to the paint finishes to the tungsten ball bearings, everything about it is just second to none. There's not anything that even comes close to it. So anyway, guys, hope it helps you catch a few. Again, I'll have that Megabass jerkbait link in the description of this video if you guys would like to get some. And I appreciate you guys coming by the channel. We'll talk later.